Hello there, my friends. Good morning. Welcome again and join me in my adventure travel. We are here in Plumbuita Monastery. Plumbuita Monastery is a monastery in it has a land area of 37 square and a cadastral measurement on which are the related buildings and is the property of the Romanian Orthodox Church under the administration of Plumbuita Monastery, Bucharest, part of the projective area. It is one of the list of the historical monuments from 2010 at position 1710, having a code of 2010B. It is inscribed the ensemble of Plumbuita Monastery. This monument is located in Bucharest in the eastern part of the city on 58 Plumbuita Street. It has a neighborhood Plumbuita Park and a polygonal contour close to the rectangle, having located along the walls of the enclosure, which also serve as walls of the fortifications, monk seals, the royal palace, the bell tower, the kitchen, and the refectory, and in the center of the enclosure is the church. It is the height of approximately 8 to 10 meters above the mirror of the lake Plumbuita. The main access is from Plumbuita Street. This is access from Colintina, and premises exist through Plumbuita Park. This access only pedestrian and reaches the entrance of the monastery near the bell tower. Restoration objects inside the monastery was done according to the degree of degradation and the need to function as a monastic settlement, adapted to spiritual, technological, and civilization of the beginning of the 21st century. The first founder of the Plumbuita Monastery in symbol is Petru Buddha Seltanar, son of Hersia Shubanol and Mrs. Shandna, who reigned between 1559 and 1569. The first inscription of the monastery was lost, but due to historical similarities, it is estimated the church was completed on July 1, 1564, and the patron saint is that of Saint John the Baptist. The second row of founders of the Plumbuita Monastery is represented by Alexandru Buddha. Due to the high walls and the securities presented without the consent of the church, the sailors of the Plumbuita Monastery turned into a political prison for the leaders of the revolution, who had failed to take refuge in exile. During Cusa's reign in 1860, the government headed by Mihail Kogalmeșanu lifted from the Greek abbots the right to less the monastic estate without any chance of success due to the high walls and the security it presented without the consent of the church. The sailors of the Plumbuita Monastery turned into a political prison for the leaders of the revolution, who had fled to take refuge in exile during Cusa's reign in 1860. The government headed by Mihai Cugalnicianu lifted from the Greek abbots the right to leave the monastic estate without any chance of success. In 1863, through the law of the secularization, the fortunes of the consecrated monasteries, but also of the non-consecrated ones, passed into the state's property. The property of the monastery and began at the same time the resolution works for the church and the bell tower with the consent of the Historical Monuments Commission. The works lasted 2 years, and from the outside they moved inside by restoring the church, painting in the same restoration plan of the priests Sakalarescu. The restoration of the royal palace of Mati Basarab the consent of the Historical Monuments Commission. The works lasted 2 years, and from the outside they moved inside by restoring the church painting. The restoration of the royal palace of Mati Basara was foreseen according to the initial form and of the enclosure, a voidship monastery, but also the national pantheon of heroes who fell in the war for the unification of the nation. This did not happen in 1955. A larger restoration was completed on the initiative of Patriarch Justinian Marina. The works were continued until 1958, after which the Holy Palace was returned to worship in 1959. Thanks to Decree 410, which expelled all the young people from the monastery, the monastery was left with a small number of monks in order not to become a parish again. Patriarch Justinian transformed it into a patriarchal chapel, as he did with Anti-Monastery. It functioned as the Patriarch Chapel until 1987.
The monastery becomes a reference monument for the cultural history of Bucharest, starting from the end of the 16th century in 1572. The first printing house in Bucharest was established here through the care of the Voivode Alexandru II Mircea and his wife Ekaterina Salbariso. This is the third printing house established in Wallachia in 1582. The first book printed in Bucharest appeared here, two Tetra Evangelicals and the Palster, of which only a fragment is preserved in the National Library of Sofia. In the year of Mati Basarab's reign, special attention was was paid the monastery not only but also as a fortification. Mati Basarab together with his wife Elena are the most important founders of plumbuita. Those in the years of his reign, he not only transformed and beautified the monastery,
but also strengthened it with large walls like a fortress of defense. In 1647, he built a princely house in the site today called the Royal Palace. Mati Basarab connected the royal court through a plumbita tunnel. It was attacked at Cortia Bichi. The ruler would come through a tunnel to Gika Palace, then the Plumbita Monastery. One refused tunnel went to Fondini Duamni, another led to Andrionacci Forest.